get used to not swearing. I think they just now threw me up on stream right as I said that.
Yeah, they
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, thanks, but alright, they said they're ready for me.
Perfect.
It's after dark. You can swear if you want. Fuck damn hell. Awesome.
Yo, nice. That makes me feel better.
I feel a lot better. That was my like biggest worry, because you know, when you're just playing on, and you're, especially when you're like at home, you're not even in a different setting, so your like body's not trained to think differently. But okay, I'm ready to go whenever.
Yo, Fez looking good tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, I didn't want to wear a dirty t-shirt, so I put on a shirt I'll wear to work tomorrow. Or Monday. Monday, I guess. Just
yeah.
But, okay. I'm gonna minimize everything so that I'm not distracted by my own whatever. But give you a countdown. Okay. There'll be a delay, or I guess because you'll hear my delay, so you'll start the timer right when the game starts. So that's perfect. Okay, I'll do a countdown then. And then I have chat minimized, so I'll just let Stu relay anything.
Yeah, I got it. I'm watching.
Okay. All right.
Yo, what's up, Krypton? He's wishing you the luck.
Thanks for the good luck. All right, we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm gonna die probably.
Yo, shoutouts to 1-1 Rat. Never overlook the 1-1 Rat.
Shoutouts to the 1-1 Rat. I should have practiced this level before I started.
Okay, so already a quick difference between the 102 route and the 80% route. You're going to pick up that barrel so you can team throw into this warp barrel. We're going to be going to a lot of these developer warp barrels. Throughout the first 2 worlds, there's going to be a warp barrel that takes you next to the flagpole in each of these levels. Now in this level, there's a few levels such as this one where we're going to do a wrong warp. So we're going to pick up this beetle and then throw it at the same time that this other beetle would try to ram into us. And if you do it right, it's a small, like, what, a 3-frame window, Fez? Something like that for the throw?
I don't know what the throw is. I know the clash is pretty generous, especially...
That's what I meant the clash. I meant the clash. The Diddy clash with the beetle. It's a little bit tighter than doing it with Dixie.
Yeah, the Dixie clash is like a million years.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of these wrong warps throughout this game, but that's one of them where you do a clash to get an invisible object. So he waited to throw the first beetle until the second one was about to ram into him, and then doing some other ID manipulations, he throws at a specific spot, and one of the bonus barrels turns into a wrong warp out of the level. So I don't know if we'll see if we go for it on the... No, we're not going for the one in the top. So that's a tougher one to do. It requires some tough snake tech where you have to use 3 inputs at the same time to even get up to a higher up platform. So
yeah. It's also a difficult throw, and I'm like just now starting to learn it, and I wasn't about to try it tonight.
Yeah, so here's one of the only real RNGs in the game. There are a few other minor spots, but this is the one that's major. The first 2 phases of this crow are no big deal. The first egg he drops are always real, but the 3rd and the 4th phase right here, the eggs may or may not be real, and it's kind of predetermined from when you enter the crow, and you just find out your luck. So far we got 1 fake. Okay, so 1 fake is actually really not that bad.
Yeah, that's... Anytime I have 1 fake, I'm really happy, and that means the run continues. So, of course, you know, not that I'd be resetting now, but in an RTA setting, if I get 1 fake, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
So
here, I know for this wrong warp, you want to spawn that crockhead to the far right, and then the wrong warp, or the developer warp that's in the top left that you can't see. Those are the 2 keys to this one, helping us get that invis barrel and get us right out of that level. Here we're going to go to an interesting tech called the big boy. We're going to throw our girlfriend onto the bad guy and then jump Jump before it lands, and then jump after she's coming back to us. A little bit confusing, but essentially you get 2 jumps for the price of 1, which you're not supposed to be able to do, and then helps you reach that that developer warp.
Yeah, normally you have to like go up to the platform above, kill the like clopper guy, and then roll to get underneath it. But that's just really slow, so that's
Yeah, it's about I think 8 seconds or something like that to not do the big boy.
I think it's 4 or 5, but if you go for the big boy and miss it, that's why it ends up being like 8 seconds.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But it's definitely it's early in the run, so you're gonna go for all the time saves.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Fez went for a slightly safe strat there. Took the balloon slightly to the right off the steam path to get closer to the developer warp barrel.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do the insta balloon jump there. I actually died not too long ago doing that, so I'm just gonna wait a half second, make sure I don't. Whoa!
Ooh, yeah, he let his roll go a little bit too deep right there.
Rolling too deep.
Rolling too deep, but it's okay. That's a small death. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Every runner in this game has died that way.
Yeah.
That was not the first, and probably will not be my last.
Oh, I forgot to mention. You'll notice that on that goalpost, he was able to press select to swap Kongs on top of the goalpost, and it credited him for actually jumping on the goalpost. That occurs because of the way that we came into that, like coming out of the developer warp, we come up from above. So it set a jump state. So when we swap Kongs, it acted as if we were up in the air. So as soon as she touched the goalpost, it counted as her landing on it. So we do that in quite a few levels. So that's not the only spot you'll see it at. Okay, and then here shoutouts to Lava Fly. Right there. That's actually kind of a tight window. A lot of new runners struggle greatly with that one. In fact, it only saves 4 seconds, so a lot of people actually decide to wait on learning that until they're much more advanced in this game.
Yeah, if you fail the trick, it's like a 30-second time loss. So it's big risk for a little gain. But once you get to a certain level, you have to basically you can't not go for it basically. And it's pretty consistent once you have practiced it enough. It's not super tight.
Exactly.
It's
it
not
takes a while for it to
perfect.
click. Yeah, it takes a while for it to click, but once you know how to do it right, it's like free every time pretty much.
Yeah. Now we finally get to actually play the game. No more warp levels except for a couple sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah, so all the first 2 worlds, like I said, had developer warps in it, so any other warps are going to be wrong warps. You'll see 2 in this world, but not until the 3rd level. So we're just going to play some classic DKC2 gameplay right here, taking the Rhino through all these barrels in a pretty quick fashion. And you'll notice he's even trying to save some frames right there. Not letting the Rhino despawn is going to save him some frames. So there's a lot of small optimizations that we do.
Now
you'll notice that team throw right there he did into that barrel. Actually, even though it's slower to team throw into that barrel, it sets up this super jump right here. I don't know exactly like what flags it's setting, but it lets you get a super jump off the next enemy you take damage off of. So
yeah, it's some sort of like super jump state, or it's kind of weird how the game works that way, but basically it stores a jump whenever you team throw like that.
Yeah, there's another spot we can get to use it at in Ramby Rumble in World 4, the end of World 4. I'm not sure if Fez goes for it that way, but we'll see. Well, it's a very similar idea. Now for the best water level in all of the DKC trilogy for SNES, Glimmers is quite fun. Great for practicing your corners. Like, a lot of runners actually lose time here, just like that where you got stuck in a cubby hole.
Yeah, speaking of losing
really
time.
Easy. Yeah, it's really easy. It's like you're never gonna really die here once you know what the level's like, but even a good runner can lose a lot of time not taking corners optimally, bonking into stuff, getting stuck in those cubby holes, like all that kind of stuff, and even like taking damage here and having to like swap and pick up DK barrels and stuff like that. You got to minimize all those mistakes because they really add up over the course of the run.
Yeah, I mean, Glimmers is one of the few levels that when you compare a top runner with a pretty good runner like myself, you'll notice a huge difference in how they take the corners, and like I'll lose 2 or 3 seconds over a top runner just because my corners aren't as good as theirs. But on to Crackhead Clamor.
So yeah, here we go. This is a really fun platforming level, but relatively recently a wrong warp was discovered. Started from a different level actually, right? That was from the Fiery Furnace.
Yeah, it was discovered in Fiery Furnace, and then people started looking for other ways to use the method, because it's completely different from every other wrong warp in the game.
Yeah. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna bait this machete guy and then throw Dixie into him. So when his machetes come up off the ground, he's coming out of the barrel, and for some reason that triggers the wrong warp out of the level.
Yeah, it glitches out the barrel. It's really weird. No one really understands it very well, but it saves like 20 seconds, so we're gonna do it. 20-second time saves are always nice. It's also one of the harder it used to be one of the harder stages in the run too, so being able to warp out of it makes it much more trivial.
Yeah, if you stick around for the 306 run, we don't use that wrong warp. We don't use any wrong warps really in 306, so you'll be able to see how that level's actually supposed to be played.
You're supposed to bounce off the guys there. Somehow I jumped over him. That was weird.
Yeah, this is one of everyone's favorite levels, Kappa. The snake has some very interesting hitboxes, and this level, for beginner and intermediate players, this level can cause a lot of difficulty. Even like the top tier players probably mess up from time to time, but even like it's just surprising even how intermediate players make a billion mistakes on this one, because the hitbox, you think you're on top of a what is it, a sproing or whatever they're called. I don't even remember the exact enemy names, but yeah, you think they're on top of it, but you're not quite, and you just take damage, and then do that twice and you're dead. So
this level has a lot of cool glitches. You'll see I did a Kong swap in water there to set up a super mega jump, or whatever I'm doing here.
Yeah, so here's another one. We're going to do a beetle clash again, so we're going to spawn that right beetle, pick up this left beetle. Now Dixie's going to throw, and the clash is easier with Dixie than it is with Diddy. Pick up that invis object, do all that ID manipulation, throw before we get into the bonus barrel, and then boom, we're out of that level.
Yeah. It's one of the harder wrong warps to learn, I think, because you have to do the Kong swap in water to set up the jump too, as well as all the ID manipulation. But once you know how to do it, I think it's one of the easiest to do. So now we are taking damage.
Taking accidental damage, not intended. Now we're gonna try to do these quick shot barrels right here, and looks like you got most of them. I didn't look at the first half, but the second half for sure you got all of them. Do you know the frame window on that? I thought someone said it was 3 frames.
Yeah, I always thought it was 3 frames. Someone told me they thought it was a little bit more than that though recently, but I always thought it was 3 frames. So that's what I'm going to say.
So let's see if he's going. Let's see if the vine clip store's open. We're gonna do a big boy right here. Reach high enough on the vine that when we throw Dixie, her sprite is credited as being above the vine instead of below like Diddy is. He did miss the trick though, so he has to do the backup strat. He chose the secondary backup strat, not even using the Dave clip.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah, when I started the big boy, I would think I was a little too far right, and so like when I hit my max height, I wasn't quite in the right position.
Yeah. Okay. Did you learn how to do the quick cudgel or no?
No, I never have. I like started to learn it, but no, I am still casual stratting this boss.
Yeah. So this boss, he's taking the TNT barrel to the left or right side and letting cudgel drop down the middle. Now the faster strat saves only about 2 seconds or so. But what you do is you pick up the TNT barrel in the middle and sit there, and you watch Dixie's hair animation, or some people use the breath. There's a few different ways you can do it. I count like her hair oscillations, and every phase, there's 6 phases of cudgel, and each phase has a different oscillation count that you would use. and when you get to that count, then you move to the right or the left and throw. And the back throw of Dixie's animation is going to hit Cudgel. So that's how you're going to save the time, but this is safer, and it's really not that much of a difference. Like I said, it's only like 2 seconds.
Yeah. It all kind of depends on how well you time the throws. But I don't time them very well, so that's why I lose 2 to 3 seconds. But I play it safe. That's another strat I want to eventually learn. But you know, when I'm learning the game, little things like this, practicing this boss is really boring, so I never did. I practiced all the other stuff. So X World 3.
Looks like that was a 13:11 according to. No, sorry, it's a little bit of delay. I'll double check. I'll let you know what your World 3 time was.
I'm gonna say that I haven't had really any big mistakes. Probably the biggest mistake so far is missing Vine Clip. So
yeah, and that's about 8 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so 13:34 was your World 3 time, which isn't bad at all.
No, that's definitely pretty good. It's like within 30 seconds of my PB, and my PB had a gold World 3, so.
Because that was intentional damage to put Diddy out in front. We're gonna be doing what's called a scroll glitch here. We're gonna dismount the spider to get onto the hook, but position the spider on a web so that we're also credited with being on top of the spider. And then we're actually on the spider and dismount it again. And next time we team up, it just scrolls the screen all the way to the right really quickly. I don't know how much time that saves, but it's a literal billion.
Yeah, I know. I think if you just use Diddy normally. Oh shoot! I jumped on the goal. I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. He was supposed to do a goal swap right there.
Yeah. So now I'll lose, you know, a second or so because I have to Kong swap normally now, but not a huge deal. But yeah, the scroll saves quite a bit. I know a lot of people have tried optimizing without going to get the spider, because you do lose a fair amount of time to go get the spider, but it just saves so much to do the scroll glitch that no one has been able to do it consistently enough to actually match the scroll speed. First,
so there's not much. Sorry, what?
I was just gonna say, first auto scroller, Resident Sleeper level. Don't jump into bonus.
Yeah, really not that bad of a level. Let's see if he goes. Do you go for the flitter skips?
Yes. I
Both
think
of them, or just?
We'll see.
Okay. So here he's gonna let his cart fall off the rail. And if you do it long enough, you can actually then jump out of the cart. Like doing that late jump out of the cart lets you jump over the flitter and still make it into the next cart. The first flitter skip is actually quite easy. The second one, if you are not really well practiced in it, can kill you. But we'll see how Fezz's confidence is feeling right here.
Well, that you say it's gonna kill me.
I said it can kill you, but if you have the confidence, yo, that's good. That was solid.
Now, when I was learning the flitter skips, I had a bad save state where I didn't have enough speed, and so I never could hit it, and it made me super nervous until I eventually fixed my save state, right? But yeah, because of that period of time, I'm always just super nervous when I go for the I'm always super nervous when I go for those glitch, but
so this is what I would consider the hardest wrong warp in the game. There's a lot of things that go on here, such as climbing. How you climb the rope, I'm told, if impacts the IDs for this. You have to clash the beetle on the top right corner of that bramble section.
Nice.
Nice. First try Brambler right there. There's a lot of things that go on right there. And the other problem is that if you mess it up, you have to kill yourself, which means you have to let your invincibility run out, which takes a while, and then the death animation, and then doing it all over again. So you can definitely get stuck in a Bramble Infinite if you're having a bad day.
Yeah, I know anytime there's a DKC2 race, the Bramble wrong warp is a big point of contention, because a lot of racers, if you miss it once or twice, it's a 30-second time loss, so...
And if it wasn't already hard enough as it is, there's also different ways to do it. There are, the corner is a well-known trick to help make an easier clash setup, but it takes extra time to set up. So
shout out to the corner.
Yeah, so there's definitely ways to optimize the trick, but obviously when you're doing and like the way you throw to get the wrong warp to actually trigger, you can do it in a much more aggressive manner, but at risk of it not spawning at all or other bad things happening. So like those optimizations save time, but then make a hard trick even harder. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah, most new runners, including myself, opt for the corner. But generally speaking, it's suggested that you do whatever you're comfortable with, because if you lose a second or two setting up the trick, that's fine as long as you hit the trick first try. That's the most important aspect until you're like uber good, and then that second will matter.
So this is another extremely difficult level. It's got some really, just like Crackhead, which is the colloquial name that we use for Crockhead Clamber in World 3. Mudhole is very similar style of level, a lot of really good platforming, but like obviously you can see there's a lot of pitfalls in here. So one mistake and you're dead. This section in particular shows the level of the caliber of the player. There's an invincibility barrel you can take to make that section easy, but that's more like a novice / intermediate strat. Once you start getting better, you start going for the stuff that Fez just went for. A lot more aggressive, but saves a lot of time. And now we're going to get to the wrong warp section of this level. So I don't know how well to describe this, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a beetle clash. You're trying to spawn and despawn certain things in the background to set that up. It looks like he got it, so that's really nice.
Yeah, it's probably the most complicated wrong warp when it comes to IDs, just because there's so many things that you have to keep track of. But it's not too bad once you actually know what to be paying attention to.
Yeah.
Nice, got the big boy here too. Similar to the 2-2 big boy, I would say it's a little bit simpler. And then you deboost because you have the super jump state.
Yeah, just like we were talking about earlier in Barrel Bayou, the first level in World 3, where we did a team throw into a barrel to set up a super jump to hit off of a cloak to cross the lava, or so the swamp. We used the same kind of thing right there. You could see her Dixie just jumped really high.
Okay, and then we're gonna do a bunch of Ramby charges here.
Yeah, this part is actually quite easy. The Rhino pretty much does all the work for you. You just charge and then press jump a bunch.
Okay, Antilles.
Yeah, it's pretty free.
Now I say that Antilles is, he does a lot of commentating for DKC2 stuff, and he's famous for saying the Ramby section is a lot easier than it looks. Oh, I didn't get that.
Oh, okay. So Fez didn't get the extra Rhino jump. If you if you press the jump button and then tap left right, you'll get an extra like Rhino thrust or whatever, and it changes his motion just enough to avoid the auto barrel, which saves some frames. But he missed out on that trick. Not a big deal though.
Yeah, I'd say it doesn't. It's like less than a second, so
yeah,
it's not a huge deal. But
now, don't sleep on the king is a famous saying.
Like
the king was almost got slept on right there.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good save, all things considered.
Yeah, definitely. The trick to having a good king is having a consistent set of positions that you go to. So if you watch Fez do this time and time again, he'll always be going to the same positions to make sure that the king's stingers go to the exact same positions, and sets it up so that the king is as close to the top right as possible for his next phase, so he can start hitting him again. Like those are like the optimizations, making him go into his next cycle as soon as possible.
Alright. Entering World 5, what I would say is probably the best world in the game. Lots of fun levels here. Lots of fun platforming, and some challenging levels as well.
Yeah, it was the levels 3, 4, and 5 in World 5 are known as the Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet.
Yeah, a lot of really tough levels back to back to back. I've had plenty of runs die in World 5.
Yeah. Ooh. And I'm going to grab the halfway for safety, because I know that I'm not going to die now, but if I hadn't grabbed halfway, of course, that's when you die.
Exactly.
That's how the game works. It knows.
So let's see if Fez goes for front or back ropes. Going for the back ropes. There's a slightly faster but much riskier strategy to actually challenge the cloak guy and go underneath him, but still hit the left side of the, like, grab onto the left side of the ghost rope instead of the right side, which is what Fez did.
Yeah, it saves, done optimally versus an optimal back rope, it's about 0.1 difference. My back ropes aren't as optimal. I do it a little bit safer, so it's probably closer to a 0.3 difference, but...
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, something like that.
Whenever the thing that's scary about back ropes or front ropes is because there's a glitch in the game where if you're rolling too fast, you can clip through a rope, and you know, it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while you'll just have a run randomly die because you clip through a rope, and
you'll probably see my run get killed right there, honestly, because I'll be going for front ropes.
Yeah,
when I get to my 102.
I started calling them Stu ropes because Stu is one of the few top runners that consistently go for that strat. Most of the others opt for the back ropes because of the consistency, but Stu has probably hits it more consistently than anyone I see, so I can understand why he would do something crazy. Like
I go for a lot of crazy things, so...
yeah, if you stay around for 306...
Yeah, I forgot to mention for this level that Fez is actually jumping here on purpose in certain sections. Really top runner Canis just went through the task and found like the super optimal places to jump to maximize your speed or maintain your max speed. But it's a really difficult route and it takes a while to learn. Fez is, I believe, opting for the slightly easier route, but slightly slower, but not too bad. DG's route.
Actually,
correct,
Fez is opting for the jump up slopes and jump down slopes.
Oh, okay.
Not actually following a route, and so probably losing 3 seconds over the task route. But again, it's a boring level to practice, and so it's one that I've waited till the end of my career to actually learn.
Yeah, I still don't really do the optimal stuff on that level either. I just kind of do what I think feels good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll see where they jump and I'll copy some of it, but I haven't actually sat down and like studied it and tried to mimic the. Ooh, crap! Not getting barrelless.
Wait, what is Krypton want a shout out for? For Haunted Hall?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, but wait. Oh, were you? Like Canis just posted it the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is Tess Haunted was originally done by Krypton.
My bad, Krypton. I didn't mean to. Shouts to Krypton.
Canis only recently he like went through and made like a picture of it to help people learn it, but Krypton was the OG Tess Haunted.
Yo, okay. Shout out to Krypton being the OG Paco Library person.
Right. This is one of my favorite levels in the run and one of the best. When I first like saw a DKC2 speedrun, it blew my mind. Not to brag, but this level's pretty great.
Yeah, this level's very fun to play, and to watch it's even more impressive, honestly. It's not too bad once you know the route on where to go, but we'll see if Fez opts for the safe strat or if he goes for 1D PCP.
Yeah, screw safe strats, man.
Okay, so he's going to go for 1D apparently. So he's going to flutter right there, hit the ledge, and then roll left-right, forcing himself onto the wall. When you're rolling and hit a wall, you get stuck horizontally. So he's going to go straight down from there, which is key. So then he can not crash into any bees and then jump into a ceiling to redirect his horizontal movement. So it's pretty hard at first. It takes quite a bit of practice, but you can definitely become consistent at it.
Oh yeah, that last section, it's known as 1D because you only take 1 damage boost, and then there's like more beginner and intermediate routes where you take 2 or 3 damage boosts, and but you lose like 3 or 4 seconds over the top route through that level.
Yeah. Now this is a level that can easily create another infinite, but we'll see how it goes. The first half is not too bad, so he's almost at the halfway already.
I'll blame you if I die because of that jinx right there. Just saying.
True. Yeah. This here we're gonna do some deboosting here. We'll get an extra jump out of that with the spider. We'll do that twice in this level. So that was the first time. Now we're gonna, this part's easy right here, and then we're gonna get to the hard part, which is this eagle pit. We'll see how optimally Fez tries to take this. Is he gonna go for the leap of faith?
No,
He's not gonna go for. Yeah, he's gonna go for a much easier strat, getting one extra web platform going. It's not too much extra time loss, but the faster way, the leap of faith, he would do one less web and then jump from a pretty far distance.
I don't think I would have made that, so I made an extra web there.
You would not have made that. You would not have made that. That was a good decision to make one extra web right there.
Yeah, I was kind of contemplating, because if you die there, it's at the end of the level, and
yeah, exactly.
It loses so much time. So if you ever have any doubt, I always make the extra web if I'm fearful.
Okay, this is the other like RNG source, and again, it's another crow. It's actually crow reincarnated. Well, it's his ghost, I should say. So where the barrel spawns to kill crow is what's RNG. It's either left, middle, or right. I believe optimal spawn is middle, then right, then right.
Yes.
For the 3 different phases. So what is it? You got a right spawn the first time, then a left. Left is the worst.
Yeah, left on the middle phase is the worst time loss, especially when you're bad like me and you don't know how to do this boss optimally.
Oh wow, nice egg dodge.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That was close.
Speaking of not doing it optimally, holy.
Oh, and Crow has decided to be on the left side for some reason. This is awkward.
I actually have no idea why that happened.
Yeah, that's not something you normally see happen, but looks like Fez is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
He wanted to be Dixie anyways. He was gonna swap to Dixie, mainly because we didn't mention this earlier. When you beat the bosses, or if you get the goalpost to rise to the top level, you'll get a fanfare. And Diddy's boomboxing is a longer fanfare than Dixie's guitar riffing. So
yeah, it's like 2 or 3 seconds. So it's definitely worth spending the time to Kong swap. Because the boombox is just so much longer.
Now,
Ooh,
Eduardo the fish.
Yeah, this is this is one of the hardest levels in the run to actually optimize. But it's not. Well, I say it's not. It's not.
Like, look how many times he's already taken damage 3 times with the fish.
Oh
and
my goodness.
So like this, yeah, when your movement gets out of sync. And it's just really easy to get caught taking damage as the fish. And every time you take damage, obviously there's a pause animation, and then you have to pick up a barrel, which is another animation, and then the risky factor of like actually dying to one of these enemies, because they're just so many places to take damage. places where your run can die.
Yeah, I guess, like, I was deathless entering Arctic. That's why I was kind of... And then I was in the middle of saying Arctic is really hard to optimize, but it's not really a place you'll ever see someone die. And then I died, so...
I disagree. I think it's a place where plenty of people die. I mean, it's not super common, but it's definitely a place that it can... Especially, like, when you take one bad damage.
Yeah, I guess I was more referring, like, once you get to being like, past a beginner level. I don't know. You don't really see a top player die there, but you might see them make mistakes and lose a few seconds.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Castle Crush here real quick. He is saving this DK barrel. It was in the very beginning of the level. It spawned, and we're taking it near the halfway point. A little bit earlier than that.
Barrel.
Yeah, we're gonna use it to do a wrong warp, but it's not like the other wrong warps. Instead of a barrel shooting us out, we're actually gonna like trick the game into bringing the goal to us. So it is the actual goalpost for this level, but it's just it's shot right at us.
Your mind is about to be blown. Oh my!
Yeah.
What just happened?
Now, one of the key differences there is that, like, when you wrong warp out of a level, you can't start select out of it when you re-enter it. But now, since it's an actual goalpost, you can actually start select out of that level now. So it's a minor difference, but it is important for 102.
Yeah, because in 102 you can use that glitch to skip it, whereas where you can't use the wrong warps to skip levels because it doesn't count percentage. Did I lose you again?
No, you're good.
Okay. I didn't hear you right away, and I was like freaking out that my internet just died. I'm like kind of paranoid about it now because it died. Usually, if it dies though and comes back, it's fine. But throwing your girlfriend in 2017.
Yeah, the throw your girlfriend strat to pick up the invincibility barrel, so that we can coast through the end of this level. Oh, Andy even got the nice jump right there. That's it's very easy to bonk on that one wall, on that final B before the final clapper.
As Boyd would say, it's the hardest jump in the game. So.
Okay, and this is the last wrong warp in this category.
I nearly died there.
Yeah.
I missed the rope and nearly fell. That would have been kind of tragic.
So we're gonna climb this rope. There's gonna be a clobber guarding this cannonball. We need to kill the clobber, that's key. Then the way that we fall by this torch is key. Then we need to make sure we kill that clobber, and he can't turn to the left. If he turns to the left, you're not going to get that wrong warp to work. We're actually taking one of the cannons that's used for a 102 bonus, turning it into a wrong warp. So that's pretty interesting. But nice job getting it first try.
Yeah.
So this is another level that kind of shows kind of what caliber player you are, how well you handle your snake tech. So there's definitely varying degrees. I'd say this is like intermediate style, right? Like taking some good deboost, doing some good short hop double jumps. If you're one of the a beginner player would do more just like regular snake jumps, just normal casual snake jumps, but it's a really slow. Doing the short hop is the next step up. And Fez did a good job of that. And then the next tier after that is doing some omega jumps. Requires some pretty precise 3-button inputs. And it becomes a little bit riskier. You go down to one snake, but yeah.
I also do casual parrot. I don't do the deboost.
Okay, yeah. So there is also a deboost there that you could do, but you have to navigate the rest of these B sections as a single bird. Also, Fez is not opting to do the moonwalk with the bird, so the bees were not in a favorable position. So we had to take that section a little bit slower.
Yeah, the moonwalk I think saves like 0.3, and it's pretty difficult to do. And typically you only see the high-end runners or Stu do it.
True. I actually recently started doing moonwalk. I didn't even know that was a thing until I took a closer look. It's interesting how many things, like minor optimizations, like you don't even realize they're doing these like moonwalks and stuff like that necessarily. If you don't know what to look for, you don't realize they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I can't get past that section because the bees aren't in the right way. And then you realize, oh, they're doing something else like 10 seconds earlier to set that up.
Entering the last non-boss level of the game, and we will not be doing everyone's favorite trick, unfortunately.
The jump? Come on! So he took it safe. He despawned the cloak guy. And he even picked up the chest.
Yeah, that was unintentional, but no, I was gonna say, not even Stu goes for the jump, so...
Yeah, I don't go for the jump, it's too crazy.
If Stu thinks the trick is too crazy, it is definitely too crazy.
Fez opting out of the halfway barrel in a marathon. Curiouser and curiouser. We'll see if that comes to haunt him.
Well, thank you for pointing that out for me. I actually just opted out of it out of muscle memory.
Yeah.
Because I was doing IL practice of this level earlier, and...
So another thing is, speaking of things that, you know, takes a setup from a long time ago, so you don't realize that they're doing it. Fez actually took some auto barrels, which shot him up in the air to like the highest Y position that this level really has to offer. Because of that, he's not able to go for the fast goal. Fast goal, like what do you call it? Like stomp or whatever.
Yeah, it's just where you hit the signpost and then land on the goal. If you go, there's another route through the level that allows you to do that without triggering the fanfare, but you can't take the auto barrels, and it saves like 0.6, I think, if you do it optimally.
In order to do it, you have to make sure, like I said, if the parrot crosses a certain Y threshold in the level, you can't get the fast goal. And so because he took the auto barrel, he wasn't able to do it. But he did get out of the rest of the level cleanly, so that's good.
We're on to the last auto-scroller of the game, Kappa. No, it's a running joke that this boss is like just a glorified auto-scroller because it's really boring, and it's really hard to die because every 3 cannonball throws you do, a DK barrel even spawns. So if I was bad and took damage, I could just get my Kong back. So
sounds good to me, Sex.
Wait, who's Sex?
Sex Rex. He asked, let's just all pretend the timer never screwed up. I actually blame Fez. This is all Fez's fault.
The timer screwed up?
Well, your thing froze, dude. So the timer he was using. Well, like we didn't know. We didn't know.
Oh, I see. So what's the timer say right now?
It's not even showing right now. There is no timer. Ooh. Not dropping a cycle in 2017. Let's go.
Yeah, I think, given the issues I had in World 6, this is probably a mid 42. I would say maybe high 42 pace, because through World 5 I was deathless and without really a major mistake. So
yeah,
I would say.
And the death that you had was right after halfway.
Yeah, it was only like a 12-second death or so.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably around mid to high 42 pace.
Yeah, which is definitely a really good run.
Oh yeah, if you told me at the beginning of this run I could not do anything and have a 42, I would have said, where do I sign?
So I guess since we are doing this boss, the only really thing you can do for this boss is optimize your throws into the, what is it called, blunderbuss. So there's a certain point where his K-Rool starts sucking up the cannonballs, so you want to try to minimize how many frames he's doing the sucking motion.
Shout out to Red Diddy.
Yeah, wow. Getting the slow Diddy for the fans. So Fez is taking some real safe throws where you can see all of the dust coming out of the blunderbuss.
Yeah, part of that is, well, I don't want to drop the cycle. Part of that is I haven't actually learned all the cues.
Yeah. Krypton was asking how was your Windy / Arctic, since those were the 2 levels we didn't really get to see.
Yeah, Arctic after the death was fine. Windy, I actually died at the very beginning rolling through the beetle.
Oh, nice.
And then I took damage somewhere, so it wasn't a very good Windy at all. So if I had to put a number on it, I would have said time. By the way, shit, I didn't tell you that.
Time for the non-existent timer. Let's go.
Yeah, I was thinking I needed to alert that time is coming up, and I never did. But no, I think I probably was somewhere around like an 8:30, 8:15, 8:30 World 6. So, but yeah, that is DKC2 Any percent, the much faster, much more wrong warpy version of the game. Where people that like to go fast, they will do any percent because you go fast. People that like to take a casual stroll like Stu will, you know, stop and collect all bonuses and stuff, but, you know, I like to go fast, so I don't do that.
Yeah.
But, alright, let me pull this up. Timer says new world record 000.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, 31:55 before it broke. I kind of wish I had my kind of wish I would have had a timer going myself, but oh well. Like I said, I would probably have estimated the final time to be around a 42:30, 42:40. So, given the way the run was going. But thank you everyone for the GGs.
GG Fez, by the way.
Upcoming runs, more DKC. You'll get to see all 3 games in a single run. It's never before seen on this channel. I think actually. Don't quote me on that. Nice work. Wait, I got 3 DK coins.
I usually get 4. You're slacking.
What was the other DK coin? You get Rickety, you get Arctic. I didn't get Target
Rickety,
Terror.
Arctic. Rickety, Arctic, Target Terror, and Gusty are the 4 I get.
Yeah, I didn't get Gusty, and I definitely didn't get Target Terror. I don't know what other DK coin I got.
You snuck in that K-Roll 2 DK coin, clearly.
Oh, clearly. But yeah, shoutouts to the DKC community for being awesome. If anyone is interested in the DKC speedruns, just checking it out as a fan, or if you're interested in trying to run the games, there is a Discord with a lot of great people and a wiki with a plethora of information on how to get into the games with strats ranging from beginner level all the way up to top end expert level. So definitely recommend checking that out, even if you're just mildly interested. I know when I got into DKC speedrunning, it was mostly just kind of as a casual, fun idea I would try one weekend. And here I am a year later, addicted and still playing, so.
Update, the addiction is real.
Yes, update, the addiction is indeed real. DKC Trillology. There might be one too many L's there. 305% because Stu forgot to finish the bonus in Fiery Furnace Kappa.
Oof. Can't say I haven't done that before.
Yeah. That was when you completed DKC2 101%.
101% for life.
Made his own category. But alright, I'll let Stu, I guess. Are you getting your stream up and ready?
I can get my stream up real quick. I already have XSplit open, so give me just a second.
We'll just let the credits run. DK2 has a great credits, I think, so. And you don't get to see all the credits in Stu's run. I guess when you complete your, like in between games, you'll do it like you would do in a race setting and wait for Cranky to disappear?
No, I'm gonna be doing it like I would for actual timing. I'm gonna do my timer just like normal, and then for DKC1 I'll do one thing special where I'll wait to see that Cranky says what a player you are, because if he says what a